Hi, Rian, sweetheart. I'm just getting my pieces. It's all mysterious tonight. I am doing, what am I doing tonight? What can I tell you what I'm doing tonight? I'm doing a basket, obviously, because it says in the title. But I'm doing a nest basket. It's the basket I made, exactly the same basket I made for the lovely Miss Dee Dee for Easter. You are on the ball. For Easter. So I'm going to share. I know everybody hasn't seen what I've made as of yet because the video hasn't gone up. And the only reason the video hasn't gone up is because I made Dee Dee a card and that's on the video. So I'm waiting for her birthday. So I'm waiting for her birthday to come and go, or on her birthday, for me to put the video up. This is the same basket that I've made Dee Dee for Easter. So I thought, why not? Good evening, Miss Paisley. How are we this evening? Just got my pieces, all my pieces together. And I'll explain in a second where the patterns come from. Here's the pack pieces, and then these things. And I've also, because we're going to do some fabric tags tonight, so I've cut some tags out because the flowers that you guys made for the challenge is what I'm going to add to the basket. So, you know, like I did with Sarah, I put everybody's work in one journal and I made the journal in order for Sarah to use it. So what I thought with Lynn, originally I was going to do a box, and then I thought if I put all the flowers in there, she's going to be, if it was me receiving it, I'd be like, oh, I don't really want to use a basket. I just want to use the box with flowers in it. So what I've decided is to make this basket and attach everybody's flowers around the basket so she can use the basket and yet see everybody's flowers that you all made for her. So that is my plan of action tonight. And then I'll explain in a second where my inspiration came from for everything. So I hope everybody's okay. If you are watching me, type in the chat. I can see the chat, so I can see Miss Rian and Miss the lovely Angie Paisley in the chat. And I've got the chat uploaded to see you. So that is what I'm going to be doing. So I've made some fabric tags. I don't know how well these are going to work because I've never ever made fabric tags before. So I don't know how well they're going to work out. And I cut 2, 4, 6 out, but one of these will make the back and the front. And then all the tags will have everybody's name on. So Lynn will know who's made what. Good evening, Carolina, sweetheart. How are we this evening? So that's a lovely idea. Thank you, Miss Rian. So while I'm waiting for everybody to come in, I've chosen this fabric for the basket because I thought it was really nice, and I love the patchwork on this. And I know Lynn likes Alice in Wonderland. So this is as close fabric as I have got to Alice in Wonderland. So I was like, oh, what shall I make? What shall I make? And then I know she likes vintage and stuff. So I'm going to do it with that fabric. And I'm also going to be doing it with this fabric that's got all the butterflies on. So a vintage feel sort of thing. So I've got that. So I'll give it a couple of more seconds for everybody to join us. How did everybody's Easter weekend go? Did you all have a lovely weekend? Angie, how did your Easter weekend go? Carolina, sweetheart, how did yours go? And Miss Rian, how did yours go? Don't know how well these are going to turn out, but we'll have a bash. A bit nervous, but yes. Right. I hope you all had a lovely weekend, Easter weekend. We went for the picnic on the Saturday, and on the Sunday we went up to Mum's for Easter weekend meal, so cooked dinner. But yes, my Easter weekend was very relaxing, very quiet. It was really, really nice actually to spend it with family. And I hope you all had a lovely weekend, lovely Easter weekend. So I'm going to crack on and let you know what basket I'm doing. So these are the fabrics I'm going to be using. This is the pattern. So now I've put this pattern has come from a lady called Nancy's Notions. She's on YouTube. So I've put her link in the description bar below. And in the link, she shows you how she will make her I Had a Great Easter. Thanks. You're very, very welcome. I'm so glad you had a lovely Easter weekend. And I'm so glad Miss Rian did. Caroline, did you have a lovely Easter weekend, sweetheart? Hope you did. Yeah, Nancy's Notion. She's on YouTube. She makes beautiful sewing projects, absolutely stunning. And she does it in like even though she does it like a fast pace, so she sort of speeds it up. You can actually see what she's doing, and she'll give you the measurements and all that. So this pattern has come from there. So you go onto her video, and you'll see the link in the description bar below. And it'll say free pattern, and then you can download it and make your own. So that's what I did when I made one for the lovely Dee Dee. So this comes with written instructions on how to make it. It also comes with another 2 pieces of paper that I did cut up. One has got this on there, and I'll explain how to cut it all out in a second. That is half of the front of the basket. But I'll explain in a minute how to cut that out. It also comes with, now this and this was on one piece, but at the bottom it says A and B. So what you do is you cut the 2 pieces out and you attach the 2 A's together and 2 B's. And all I did is a piece of sellotape. So that's all you need to make it with. Now again, this is only half of the back, so I'll explain how you go about cutting that. And then this one is the sides of the basket. So it's this, the handle is what creates, it's in between the back and the front, it's what creates the overall look. So again, attach your A and B together, and you've got your side. So I'll start off explaining how to cut them out. Now I've cut all my pieces out, but I'm going to move all my pieces, and I'm going to show you how to go about cutting them all out. I've cut all mine just to save a little bit of time on YouTube. Right, okay. I'm going to use this fabric. Okay, so the first one is this one. It's the front of the basket. So again, it's only giving you half. So what you do is you open your fabric up, whatever that would be. So you open it that way. Oh, yeah. Right, and then you open it or completely up, and then you fold it. Where's my fold in the basket? Let's stop getting confused. So you would fold it over once, just enough for this to sit flush on your fabric. You turn it round, and this center piece, this half of the basket, this goes on the fold of your fabric. This creates the one piece that you need. It creates that. But in order to get that, we need to, because my fold is the other way around, let me turn this completely around. You're not seeing it upside down. Okay, so you take your front of your basket first, and you put this on the fold of your fabric. You pin it and you cut it out, and that will give you one. That'll give you the one piece. But make sure that this this edge where the arrows are is on the fold of your fabric. It won't work if you just cut it out like that. What you'll end up having is half of your front. So fold your fabric over, make sure those arrows are on the fold, pin it, and then cut it out. And you'll need 2 for the front. So my suggestion is, this is only a suggestion, bring your piece right down. Now this is 1/2 meter, I think I've got of this fabric. So anyway, bring your center piece down, cut one piece out, and then move and cut. I have tried before folding it and then cutting it, and I get in a right kerfuffle, because you've now got, when you fold it, this is where I got confused. You do as you find easier, but this is what I found difficult. If I did do it like that first of all, and I thought, oh, I'll cheat, and then I'll end up with 2 pieces because it's sort of 4 pieces of fabric. And anyway, I'll cheat. So I cut it all out, pinned it, cut it, and what ended up happening was, when you open this out, can you see how this piece, if I was to put that there now, it's not completely going over the fabric? So if you are gonna cheat and fold it and find a different route to be able to do this, make sure that you've pulled this all the way in, and you've given yourself at least, I would say at least 2 inches, an inch maybe on the edge. That way, when you do fold it up, you know for certain you're going to catch the fabric on each side. The other thing to say, if you do fold it up, is because I've folded it up, I've now got 2 folds. I've got a fold here and I've got a fold there. So you leave this fold alone, leave it completely alone, but cut this one because you don't need it, and then just go around your basket. But just make sure that your fabric is folded. So you need 2 of your front pieces to make this basket. So there's your 2. Your back piece is exactly the same. Fold your fabric first, like so. Now with this back piece, you need a little bit more give. What I mean by that is, again, leave yourself about an inch before you go cutting it. Now I've done it, so I folded it once, I've pinned it, and then I've cut it, and then I folded my fabric the other side, I've pinned it and cut it. That will give you 2 pieces, because you need 2 pieces. This is what the back piece looks like. You need 2 pieces for the back. Now I have used 2 different fabrics. I've got a lining fabric, which is the lining of my basket, and I've got an outer fabric, which is what you're going to see on the outside. So the front of the basket, where's it gone? The front, this front piece, I've used the same fabric, because it'll look like, when this is pinned together, you'll have the front piece, and then when you look in the basket, you'll have the back piece. You can use different fabric. For the back piece, however, I have that for the back piece and that for the in piece. So my suggestion is have 2 fabrics, but you can use the same fabric. There isn't a set rule that you can't. So there's your front and your back pieces done. And then the side pieces is what complicated me the most. Okay, so you've sellotaped the A and B points together. Fold this in half, right? Now you'll want to fold just above where you joined your A and B. Fold it in half, and you've now got a bigger piece and you've got a small piece. Don't worry about the smaller piece just yet, but just concentrate on this bigger piece. So lining it up. This time you don't have to line it up with the fold. Make sure your fabric is flat. Pin it and cut it. And you will then have a piece this width all the way up. And then that's where then you can open it up, pin it and cut it. You need 2 pieces. Now on this pattern, this is the only way I tell. See how it's sort of coming down at an angle, and it stops there, and then it goes straight. So you need 2 pieces where the fabric stops on the right hand side, the way the pointy bit's on the right hand side, and then you need 2 pieces where that pointy bit is on the left hand side. That is the bit confused me the most. The reason for that is when it comes to doing the basket, you want your inner piece, your inner fabric, and you want your outer fabric. So your pieces ended up looking like this. So remember I said about left and right? This is the reason. So this is my outer fabric. There's my little corner where it stops on the right hand side, and this is my I probably cut it wrong. This is why you confused me the most. Oh, wait a minute, I might not have the pieces right. Wait, that, bear with me. Yes, I have. Right, so left hand side, right hand side. So the points are one on the right, one on the left. Then you join am I going crazy by how what? You join the map, basically. No, they need to be on the right hand side. Erase what I've just said. I'm just making sure you're all listening. Oh my word. Right, this is what confused me the most. They both need to be on the right hand side, which means I need to cut. No, I don't. They need to be on the right hand side. So you've got 1 piece for your outer fabric, 1 piece for your inner fabric, 1 piece for your inner fabric, and 1 piece for your outer. So you'll have 2 inners, linings, and 2 outers. Can you see? You can see it now. Can you see how the points are now facing together? These are the points that I'm talking about. These are them points there. So you cut your fabric this way. So you want two pieces for your outer fabric this way, and you want 2 pieces for your inner fabric this way. So your inside fabric, facing this way, you want ×2, and then your outer side fabric you want facing this side ×2. It's a bit confusing, and it did take me a little bit of while, but if you do 2 that way and then 2 that way, you'll be perfectly fine. So that is the sides. The sides are the most complicated thing out of the whole basket. So you now have all your pieces. The only thing you don't have is some bias binding. So we've got our pieces, we've got our front, we have our back, we also have some seam binding. Now what I've done is I've taken this fabric, this butterfly one, and I've cut it to 5 inches wide, and I've just cut and cut and cut and cut. Now this isn't joined at all, this is just one continued piece. Good evening, Christine, sweetheart. How are we this evening? See, it's just, I'm gonna have to join these, but the bias binding is basically where you cut the fabric at an angle. The reason why we're doing that is because it gives us a bit of stretch. If I was to cut it that way, can you see how tough that is? If I'm cutting it at an angle, it's giving me a bit of stretch. The reason we need bias binding is we need to go round our sides, and that's why we need so much of it. So that's the bias binding, that is our fabric. So I'm gonna make the basket up, and then we'll go from there. And like I say, I have cut some fabric tags. I sort of know where I'm going with that, because I'm going to be putting everybody's name on, and then I'm going to be sticking the flowers on with each tag on the basket as we go about doing it. So there's the tags. there's 6 at the moment. I need to cut out another 6. So our first thing is I'm going to put the bias binding to one side. We need to build our basket up. Like I say, there's written instructions, and then Nancy does do a video on it. So I'm going to take my sides, I'm going to put them to one side, and I'm going to work my back piece. So I'm only on for a wee while. Oh, bless you. Thank you for coming in, Christine. How are you? Did you have a lovely Easter? Okay, so this basket requires some batting. Now, batting, warding, anything you want, as long as it's going to give it a bit of thickness. That's the reason why they're asking you for batting and warding. Now, I do believe you can buy different wardings and battens, different thicknesses. Now, this is, I'll tell you what thickness is. Wait a second. I am using this, so it's crib size. Doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me how wide it is. Or does it? No. But I'm using crib size, and you can get a double size or whatever you want to do. But I'm using crib size. So let's get doing the basket. I'm so excited. Right. Okay. Give my padding out, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my outer fabric facing down, my wadding above that, and then my inside facing up. And I bought myself some of these pins. Now, I can't remember where to put the doodah. I think they're called flower pins, but I can't tell you for sure because I don't know where to put the lid. So all I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to cut, make it a little bit easier for me. We'll make this smaller in a second. And I've got a magnetic thing as well because I'm losing my pens left, right and centre. Okay. There's my So what I'm going to do is I am going to fold this as I would if I was doing it in fabric. I'm going to take the fold. This is how you would cut it on fabric. You've got your pins. You've got my pins and my lid. No, that's the... No. Oh, yeah. Have the lid. Oh, yeah, flower head pins. Well done, Mrs. Well done, Rian. I was like, flower head pins is what they called. Okay, so this is how you would cut them out. If this is exactly how you would do the basket, you'll cut in fabric. Let me just remove that. So all I'm going to do is cut this up. And I'm leaving myself a little bit of an inch because the paper is crumpled up. Plus, I want to give myself a little bit of room when I go and do some quilted stitches on the machine. Okay, take these pins out because we don't need them anymore. Take that out. And there's our back. Perfectly done. Right, so our front, our back. It's okay if it's a little bit bigger. and our inside. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just pin there. I'm going to pin there. So they're called flower head pins. That's what the pins are called. There. Just going to move that touch over because it has moved. God, come on. Okay, so there's our pins. So there's the back. I'm gonna do the front while I'm sitting down because I may as well do the front and the may as well do the front and the back at the same time. So our wadding, batten, whatever you want to call it. Good evening, Debbie, sweetheart. I'm gonna take that. I don't need that a minute. I need this. I've just turned you around just because for you not to get all dizzy. I don't want to keep spinning you around. The other thing with this magnetic pins, I've had them for a while. The other thing is you can't use them near your, if you have got an electric machine, don't use them near your electric machine. And I believe you can't use them near a manual sewing machine either. I believe so. Okay, I'm leaving. Can you see how I'm just leaving myself a quarter of an inch over the top? I want it to be as close to it as I possibly be, and then the bottom. Okay. Good evening, Carla, sweetheart. How are we this evening? I think it's near the computerized machine. I don't know whether is it just the computerized or is it both. So I'm going to line the middle up because that's the only bit where I have left myself enough room to go around. Like I say, these are front and back. God, come on. There. I'm going to do pink for these pins because then pink will keep it in a nice place. And then all you would do, because I'm not going to be doing too much of the basket because all your flowers will be doing the work. Right, so we have our front and we have our back. I haven't done the sides as of yet because I just haven't. So I'm going to move anything that's not sides really. Okay. So I have white cotton in the machine at the moment. But I do have some real dark pink thread. I just want to find the edge of there. Better. Bear with me while I'm I'm going to. What am I going to do? Find my little scissors wherever they've gone. I'm telling you, a gnome is coming into my room tonight. Oh my word! I don't think so, Kristen. Claire, could fabric glue be used instead of sewing? It could, but you might get a different effect because even though I'm sewing, I'm not actually going to be sewing this together. I'm going to be quilting it together, so it's going to give you a different look. So yes and no. Yes, fabric glue can be used, but it won't give you the same effect that I'm going to be showing you, ladies. But if you use fabric glue and it works, hey, you know, let me know. But I just, because I'm going to be quilting a pattern on top now, because I'm not actually stitching on the edges with this. I'm quilting a pattern on top. Like I say, it's difficult to know because I'm not using glue. If that makes any sort of sense. Come on. No, wait a minute. Word. Come on, Colette. I'm spreading the pink because you'll see a lot more on the top. I'll turn you guys now. Right. Okay, let's turn you. Let me know if you can see my machine. I'm hoping you guys can. Well, I'm going to be using like I say, I'm not actually sewing this together. I'm going to be using a pattern. So let me choose. I'm going to choose a pattern. You want something that's got a lot of stitches in because I'm not actually sewing the sides together. Let's do a honeycomb stitch. Right, put it down, and you can go any way with this. And you let the machine do its work. So you don't actually, so the quilting bit does it for you. Does that make any sort of sense? So I'm going to go back, stop, and I'm going to go here. So I've got white bobbin at the bottom and I've got pink at the top. So you'll see white and pink each side. So all I'm going to do now, you could do it all the way, but I'm going to do 3 strips of this and then I'm going to do 2 at the bottom. That way then it's going to be sewn together, but I'm not actually, because I want your flowers to go on here. And if I do it all the way, then there's not going to be any room for your flowers. So I want to make sure that I'm leaving that room. So can you see the honeycomb stitch? Turned out beautiful, isn't it? Like I say, you can use any sort of stitches for this. And I know you're watching the same thing, so I do apologise. Sometimes think, am I boring? Because sewing can be tedious, I find. I don't find doing it tedious, but sometimes it can be tedious watching it. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Right. Hey, Maddie, sweetheart. No, it's not Maddie, is it? It's on the moon. Oh, remind me of your name. Oh, remind me of your name, sweetheart. It's not. I don't think it's. I'm saying Maddie, but I don't think it is. I do apologise. I'm gonna have to get a book or something with all you ladies' names in, so I can in the week have a look, and when it comes to the lives, I don't forget who's done what. Because you don't forget what names are with what. I do, especially if like I always confuse Lorna, who's tailor-made journals. I always confuse her name. Always. Okay, just want that one there. I'm going to take this one out, and then I'm going to sew this one across. And I'm going to do the same on the back too. This is a honeycomb stitch, is what they call a honeycomb stitch. It's only because it looks a bit like honeycomb. Right, so that's the sort of the back done. I'm going to do the front. Now with the front, I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to undo these pins. And I'm going to get your flowers out in a second now. So anybody that made flowers for the challenge, I'm going to get them out. So straight across. So it's doing pink at the top. So this side will be my front side. The white cotton, or what it's showing white, will be on the inside. You can do any stitch and you can continue doing it as well. So this isn't just, I'm only doing a couple of stitches, like I say. Otherwise you're just watching me sew. So I've done one here. I'm going to do one roundabout for there. I'm going to go pretty quick as well. And then I'm going to move over. I might do 4 on the front. I think I've done 5 on the back. So is anybody doing any projects that you can share about or tell me about? I am in the middle. I'll show you actually. Last week I forgot to show you, but I will show you this week. I am in the middle of making a page for pages for journals. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go this way now, and I'm going to sew. So it goes the opposite way. And like I say, you're going to get your flowers out in a second because I'll need to sew them on. And it's at this stage I'll need to sew them on, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get them on. It looks gorgeous, Colette, and your sewing machine is fantastic. Oh, thank you, Christine, sweetheart. Thank you so much. You're commenting in the world to me. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm so glad that you think it's looking amazing, because I've got this idea in my head and I'm thinking, maybe it won't turn out. Right, I'm going to move that pin and I'm just going to go here to cross. Okay, right. I don't know whether to do 2 more lines. I'll show you now and see what you guys think, whether I should do 2 more lines or not. this is what the front looks like. So I have my two pinks. Of my two pinks, I have these, or that line and that line, and then it's done the white on the back. And on this side, I can take that pin out because I don't need it on that one. I've done 3 lines on there and 2 lines on the front, on the bottom. So cut. These are just my beginning threads. My machine does cut the threads for me, but doesn't cut the, obviously, it's the thread that you start with. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, that should be right. So there's that one. It's pink thread following me everywhere. I'm going to go and get your flowers, and I'm going to start making our tags for our flowers. So I'm not touching the sides at the moment or the seam binding because I won't need them at the moment. Okay, so where are those tags I made? Here they are. Okay, so the tags, I'm going to stick some flowers on the front. I'm going to fold in half while I got the pink thread in. And I have got, oh gosh, I have got some sew on interfacing. Sew on interfacing. You can get iron interfacing and you can get sew on interfacing. This is the sew on one. And the reason for that is, the reason I'm using the sew on one is because with the tags, I want to be creating names so that when I do put the flowers on, Lynn can see who's made what. Let me just cut a sheet. That's better, using a big scissors. Ooh. There. Okay. So on interfacing. Right, there's my tag there. I'm going to just pin that really quick. Move this up the way because I've done that a second. And I'm cutting sew on interfacing with the tag. Okay, there's that one. I don't know, we had 12 names, but I don't know how many you've all done, not what, how many flowers you've all done. Okay, and this one. Never made fabric tags before. Has anyone else made fabric tags? I've never made them. I don't know what inspired me to make them. I have no idea. Okay, I'm just cutting that out. Cut the bottom of that one. I'm going to say I've done 6, so we'll do 3. See how we get on. And I'm going to do some around the handle as well. That's my idea. It's going to be some on the front and some around the handle. I'm going to put that over there because I don't need that at a second. And I'm going to guess somebody's flowers. Who shall I get? Let's get somebody in chat. There was Angie, there was Carla, there was Rian who did my challenge. So I'm going to get one of you ladies. Flowers. Ooh, who shall I get? It's Rosa. I haven't made fabric tags before. Neither have I. I don't know what's inspired me to make fabric tags. I've never made them. It's Rosa. Is that her name? Rosa. That sounds familiar, Angie, so you might be right. Let me get the flowers. Okay. So Who have we got? Angie. Let's do yours, Ange, first. Right, so Angie has made me. Here's Angie's flowers. So I'm going to do 2. Right. So I'm going to, one of these is going on the back. Oh, which one to pick? I think I'm going to pick the butterfly because I got butterfly Flutterby fabric. So let me open it up from the bottom. Move that out. Ooh, move that out. Right. I'm going to do this one a second. So you're going to flip this up. The reason I've put interfacing, sew on interfacing between is because I'm going to be putting the names on, and I can't do that if I haven't got any sew on interfacing going on. I'm going to write Angie's name now in a second once I've cut the shape of my tag. Angie, this flower is absolutely gorgeous. Just make sure that I... Hi, Emma, sweetheart. Right. So I have... Oh, let me just cut this. Right. So there's my tag. That's what the tag's going to look like. And then I'm going to sew it on somehow. Sew it on like so. So I need the name to go from here to there. Right. I think I know what I do. I know. Right. Angie, Miss Paisley coming up. Hi, Emma, sweetheart. Did you have a lovely Easter? Been asking everyone tonight. Right, I've got it on 16. So this stitch is a lock-in edge stitch. This gives you your edge stitch without having to worry about a border or having to worry about going over it in stitches. So I've got pink at the top, white at the bottom, and I'm just going to go for it. Slow her down because she's going too fast for me. You'll see in a second what an edge stitch looks like. This pin out. So I'm going to be doing everybody's names like this. So Lynn knows who's made what. So I'll show you what an edge stitch looks like. And most machines have got an edge stitch, and it reminds me of, you know, when you buy something, it reminds me of like an old-fashioned but I will see the finished project in the minute. Good night, everyone. Oh, thank you, Christine, for coming in, sweetheart. Right, there's an edge stitch. So as you can see, it's stitched up all my edges. And all I'm going to do, cut this off. I'm going to work out where I want that to be, and I'm going to have to hand stitch that in. So let me get my threaded needle. There's my needle. There's my thread. Okay. Cut this off. Start the needle off. Come on. Right, I'm going to start my needle off, leave the tag where it is, have it decide where I'd like it to be. There. If I get this, then I can mark exactly where the middle is, which is there. My tag is going to be there. This comes off. It's a friction pen or your reasonable pen. They're meaning the same thing. It comes off with heat. So it's not bothering me at the moment that I'm stitching. Right. All I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a couple of stitches in. I'm going to leave the needle out. I'm going to do what I want to the tag. I'll leave the needle there so I know what it is. Now the tag, I'm going to put Angie's name in. Right. You all see we're at the screen. Let me know if you can or can't. Let me just check. Can somebody tell me if you can see the screen at the top of my the top of my sewing machine? That's what I'm after. Just about to see it. I'm hoping you can see that. I'm not 100% sure. I can see the screen. Fab. Okay. So A-N. Wait a minute. I gotta look at your name, Angie, to make sure I'm spelling this right. A-N-G-I-E. Thank you, ladies, for telling me you can see the screen. It does help. Right. A-N-G-I-E. So I want my wording to come across because I'm going to tap the tag there. So start there. Right. I put a little dot where I would like it to start. So I'm going to put this in my machine. And my machine sews this way. So whatever it's spelling, it'll do A first and then it'll come this way to spell it. So I'm going to type in start and then that will type in Angie's name. And because I've done it in pink, hopefully you'll be able to see on the pen. Hoping I bring it through. G. Just about E. Right, so we are, that's Angie's name there. So I've done that in pink, and all you do is cut. I got very, very, very small scissors. Very small scissors. Yes, they've got to be in pink, of course. Got little threads between the letters that you gently cut away, and that will give you your separate letters. Yeah, cut that away. Should have used a darker or lighter thread. Needless to say, you can still see it. Hoping you guys can anyway. Right, so Angie's name is there. This is what we're going to do. So I've left the thread in the back. I'm going to bring my thread forward. And I'm going to do that on my machine. I'm going to sew the a couple of corners in, but I'm going to leave this part loose because when I put the seam binding on, it's going to affect it. So I'm only going to sew from that corner all the way around to that corner. So let me quickly do this. Bear with me 2 ticks. Okay, so all I've done is I've just sewn from there to there. I didn't bother switching the camera around because it wasn't really, and I've left that blank. The only reason I've left that blank is when I put the seam binding on, it's not going to affect it because I can pin that back and then I can sew it back down a bit later on. So with this flower that Angie made, Chris, can you knock the heating off, love, please? I'm just going to take a couple of petals in the back and I'm going to sew them in. My thread is not coming down, but and that's how I'm going to do the flowers. I think you all so I've been thinking, oh, good night, Christine, sweetheart. Thank you for popping in. Just popped in for a few minutes when I saw you were live, but have to go. Happy crafting. Goodbye, ladies. Oh, thank you, my sweetheart. Thank you for popping in. It does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Happy crafting to you too, sweetheart. Just going round. Oh. Just going around the back pedal. I'm going to open the window now because it's boiling in here. Back petal, so I'm not interfering with Angie's flower at all. And I just want to push the flower there. Let me just tie this in. And then we can get another flower out of the box. Like I say, I won't be able to do all this tonight because, like the journal, once this is finished, it will look amazing. So I don't want it to cut that. Angie's name. I'm going to push it through one more time and then I'm going to tie it off. There's not much left of the cord, to be fair. Come on. There. That way it doesn't cover Angie's name, as you can still see it. So let's tie this off. And the way I'm going to tie it off is I usually put the threads when I'm hand sewing underneath my beginning threads. So this flower is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. So thank you for making a flower. So Angie's there. Tie it again, and then I'm going to get somebody else's flower out. Now, only so many obviously will fit on the front, and that's why I haven't done the sizes of yet, because some of them will fit on the sides too. We now have Angie's name and Angie's flower, which is beautiful. Right, where's another tag? So So again, with this tag, fold it in that way in, because I'm sandwiching 2 layers. It'll be 2 layers of sewing interfacing. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to pin that just together ever so slightly, and I'm going to cut this down, do an interlocking edge and stitch on this, and then I'm going to get somebody else's flower. Like I say, this isn't going to be finished tonight because I want to add everybody's flowers, and then we've got I think 12 one Lynn's, so 13 flowers all to add, 13 names. Come on, right there, don't move. Right, I'm going to do an edge stitch. Just squeeze it up a little bit. I'm moving it around the whole time I'm doing this to make sure I'm catching those edges. Okay, so there's the edge stitch. Now let's see whose flower we have next. Sorry if the camera's moving. So I've done the edge stitch. Just cut these little threads off. Gosh. There. Okay, so there's the tag. Who have we got in chat? We have Carla. Carla, let me see if I can find yours, sweetheart. These are yours. These yours? Let me have a think. I think they are. I think. Yes, they are. Right, so Carla made me. Carla made me 2 flowers. So let me take out 2 of these. She actually made me 4. There's the other flower there. Yeah, you made me 4. So I'm going to dig out 2 of Carla's flowers. I think I'm going to go with that little pink one. There. And let's go. Can I get away with it being there like so? I'm just playing about a minute. Oh, I like the green with that fabric. Just playing around just to see where I can put the tag, where it's gonna catch the name. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Carla, sweetheart, these flowers are beautiful. Right, so Carla's name goes on here. So for me to know where to stick it on, I'm just gonna come in a little bit, and I'm gonna start with this C-A-R-L-A 5. So it's the same spacing as Angie. If I start there, yeah, I'm going to start where that cross is here, just there. I'm going to type your name in, and then I'm going to sew this together. Let me just get some sewing going on. I I don't know how many will fit on the front. Where's my needle? I don't know how many will fit on the front before it starts getting full. No idea. What I did think though was to see where we were at with 3 tags, and where were they, and how much space it takes with 3 tags. These flowers are stunning, Carla, sweetheart. And without you realizing when you made these, it actually goes with the fabric because it's got green in. Really like these are your fairy flowers because you've got sequins on. Am I mistaken? Are these I'm sure you said these were your fairy flowers when I was watching the video. Right, so I'm going to sew that one, the green one, straight on. There. In there. Caught now. That's better. And the reason I'm doing it now, putting the flowers on, is because when the basket's together, it's sort of the 3D color, 3D colors, because I'm reading the comments. It's a 3D look. 3D color. You could be 3D if you want, Carla, sweetheart. It's because I'm reading the comments and I can see your name. Oh my words. Right there. I'm go a couple more stitches with this. I think I'm cutting my thread a bit too short. Come on. There. And I'm going to tie it on the back. Tie it on the back. That's not going anywhere. I need to sew the pink one on. Get the pink one ready because the tag's going to go under the pink one. Come on, Colette. There. Goodness up when it decides to open. I just love making flowers. That's why I'm so excited about your video series with the soldering iron, Andrea. I have to purchase one. Right, that's all sewn. And that one is going to pop just like so. I need to sew that on. And I think might get away with one more. I think I'm going to sew one more and then I'm going to see where I'm at. Come on. Right. You made flowers, didn't you, Rhian? I'm sure you said you. I'm sure I got flowers from you. I'm sure we did flowers together. You could put in there. you put in the I just hope, right, that I'm doing these. Wait a minute, what's happened here? I just hope that I'm doing making this basket and showing everybody's flowers off to justice. Does that mean I'm doing it justice? Because I was thinking, I've done a journal for Sarah, and that's in the post for her. But I was thinking, well, I could make a box and make it for Lynn, and so she's got, you know, all the flowers in one place. But how is she gonna know who's made what flowers without me writing on the back who's made what? So that's why I thought, well, I want to make a basket. I'm wondering whether I can make fabric tags, and I think that's where my thoughts went on how I would go about doing it. Good night, Carolina, sweetheart. Thank you for popping in. Right. Cara, I hope you don't mind, sweetheart, but I am putting some stitches through your flowers. I need to hold it down because I don't want it to come off. I hope you don't mind me putting some stitches through. I'm sure you called these your fairy flowers. That's where I'm going with it. Right, more. Then I can write Carla's tag. Right. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to sew it up. Spread it apart. Tie it. And then I'm going to write Carla's name out. C-A-R-L-A, 5 letters. Just counted to make sure I've got 5 letters. Right, so there's the flowers. Let's get Carla's name up. C-A-R-C. Oh gosh. Hi Sarah, sweetheart. C-A-R-L-A, Carla. L-A. I'm sure it's C-A-R-L-A. Let me know if that's right. I don't mind at all. Phew. How are we, Sarah, this evening? I'm sure it's C-A-R-L-A. Yeah, thank you, sweetheart. I just didn't want to do it wrong, that's all. Right, I'm going to go in slight touch. And then I'm going to let the machine just spell your name. And then I'm going to stitch the tag. Yes, K. No, I haven't got C, I've got K. I said C, but I got K. I was wondering how the middle letters go. I've got K. I'm sure I have. No, I've got K. I said C, but I meant K. I just didn't know the middle letters. See? See? I don't know if you guys can see. Wait a minute. Let me cut the threads and then you might be able to see. K-A-R-L-A. Just didn't know how the middle letters went. And I just want to double check before I go ahead and sew them. Because I don't want to be undoing it all. Right. I'm going to stitch that now to there. And I'm going to pin these petals back just for the minute while I sew this on, because I don't want the petals getting in the way of the stitching. So let me do there. So that's Carla's one done. Right, Ria, let me see if I can. Oh, let me have a think. When did you send it in? Trying to think. Yeah, I got you. R-H-I-A-N. I'm sure that's right. Right. Rian made me these two flowers. I'm going to choose one to go in here. Like I said, I think I can get away with putting Rian's there and have the tag here. So I'm going to sew that in. Bear with me while I sew it in. Where's my needle gone? Ah, there it is. Oh. Bear with me when I sew it in. I'm going to do one more tag. Like I say, see where we are with that. So these are Rian's flowers. These are what Rian sent in to me. And these are her flowers. Oh God, come on. Right. There. Right, I'm going to sew that now on there. I'm wondering how I can sew it in. But I reckon the flower and the dangles to go on the bottom, don't we? Ah, fingers, clad fingers. Couple of, I think 2 more stitches and Rian's flower will be sewn in. Rian, this is a stunning flower. I love the pearl you've got in the centre. Right, Rian's flowers all sewn in, tied on the back. I'm going to do Rian's tag. Now, I know this is not interesting because you've just seen me do it twice, but everybody put in so much work for these flowers that I want it to seem like everyone Lynn can see everybody's work. That's what I'm trying to get at. Right, Rian spelt her name for me. Thank you, sweetheart. Pop that in there. Right, where did I put my tag? Oh, there it is. Right, same applies. So got a tag shape. I've got sewing interfacing in the middle. I'm gonna turn that the other way, and I might have to make bigger tags for bigger names. I might have to. I don't know. We'll see how we get on. And I'm gonna cut. And Rian's never made a flower like that. And I remember making them with her. And she said, how do you get your flowers so bounced up? I said, well, I turn the petals the opposite way. And she made this one in the house, if I remember right. We made some together. And Rian was so chuffed that she had the sorry, guys. My thing is loose. She had the petals the other way. Been looking at my keyboard for the past 10 seconds. she was so chuffed that she had the petals popping up that it was such. I was like jumping for joy when she gave me the flowers for the challenge. I was like, oh my word. Right, let's do this tag. So I have an edge stitch. Thank you, sweetheart, for spelling your name. I think with names, remembering them and spelling them is really, really, really difficult for me because I have dyslexia and it's just really difficult trying to remember everybody's names. And if I've got to remember something like a challenge or the date when the challenge is ending, I'm really forgetful with it because I just generally struggle with names and dates anyway. I'll take this pen out. Keep going with it all the way to the end. I'm nearly there. And then I'm going to spell Lynn's name. So lift this up. R-H-A-I-R-H-I-A-N. Right, okay. So that is 5 letters, so let's go there. I don't know how many flowers we're going to fit on the front. But I'm hoping another one goes in the other corner. We should be okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 we've done. So I'll be trying to think. 4 minus 13, what's that? 9. Okay. Let the scissors out. Ping that over there. R-H-I-A-N. Right, cut all these little tiny threads away. Come on. Right. Right, okay. Oh, I can unpin these now, can't I, Carla, sweetheart? The flower bounces a bit more. Right, okay. Rhiann's name. Should we put there? Okay. So again with Rhiann's flower, I'm going to just pop a pin in just to know where I am. And I'm going to sew again from one corner to the other so that when I do put the binding on around it, I'm not catching the edge of the tag. Like I say, I might be able to get away with doing one more tonight. We'll see how we get on. So I'm going to put a straight stitch. Whoa. I'm doing myself glad. So that is what the cover's looking like at the moment. So I've got Angie, Rhiann, like I say, I might be able to fit one more. Sarah, you made me flowers, didn't you? This is what the front is looking like. Let's see if I can find Sarah's. Put by you. I'm trying to think how you sent it to me now. Sam, Rhiann's, Angie's, Carla's. I'm trying to think how you sent it to me. That's Mary's. That's Carolina's. They're there now in a sec. Lynn. Ah, yours. Sarah's, I got you. That is stunning flower. Like I just said, it's beautiful. This is from Sarah, but I want to just check. Yes, this is from Sarah. Right, okay. Sarah made me. Let's see what we have in here. We have the strip, so I'm going to pop that back in there. Sarah made me 2 flowers. We might be able to get away with. I'm going to put that one on. Okay, where's my needle and thread gone? And I've got one more tag. Did I not cut any? That one. We'll do that one. I didn't cut any sewing thread. I didn't prepare the tag, which doesn't matter because I'm going to prepare it now to sew on. It's going to look absolutely stunning because the flowers are going to go down the side of the basket too. Right, so let's decide, Sarah, where we're going to put you. There. I'm just going to sew this on, give a few stitches to start it off. Right, and then I'm going to this is going to be like with Sarah's journal. This is going to turn out one pretty basket. Definitely going to be like a real big flower basket for sure. I'm in no doubt of that. So 4 minus 13. There's 10 ladies to go on, yeah. Plus flowers I'm going to make. So what? 10. So 5 each side on the handles. Which isn't too bad. So a couple of stitches through these flowers. And that should, that's it. I should fit perfect. So I'm going to tie this off now. Burnt myself in the iron. I was sewing that then. Didn't realise my iron is still on. Put it through the hoop. Right, and I'm going to tie it. And can I just say, Angie is going to come live with me. Angie will tell you herself. She is coming live with me. She just wanted me to do the prizes by myself. So she is coming live with me. Once I finish the prizes, we'll be back to normality. Sort of. Right, some sewing. I use this tag because I've got the Carla's one down the bottom. Pin it over. Sarah, S-A-R-E-H, 3 has 5 letters. Just checking that I've got the 5. Okay. So edge stitch on this so we can put Sarah's name in. So an edge stitch, before I go and do it, your manners will be commencing soon, yeah. before I go into it, it's that the edge stitch is number 16. So my edge stitch would be that one, or I'm hoping you can see the screen and you can actually see the stitches, or something like number 15, because it's got a line. Can you see? It's got a line there, and then the stitches go. So that would be the edge of your work, and then the stitches would be there. So number 15 would be it. Number 16 would be it. Number 23, because again, it's got the line, 22 and 21, 24 and 25. So that's telling me if I want a right stitch, and then that would give me a left stitch. But any of these, if you're stitching, that one would do it because it's got a line. Number 30 would do it because it's got the line between the two stitches, if that makes any sort of sense. Number 31, a little bit, but not as big as the other ones. So any of these, or any of this one, 16 or 15. I like using number 16 because to me it looks like a factory stitch. Does that make sense? You know, when the end of your clothing, on the end of your clothing, that's what it reminds me of, like a factory stitch. Exactly what it reminds me of. Take this pin out. I'm just turning it as I'm doing the tag. And the sew on interfacing is because I'm doing the words. If I wasn't doing the words, then I could just use my fabric. And yeah, you can use glue to make a fabric tag if you wanted to. Totally cute. Right, I'm going to put Sarah's name in now. What did Rian say? I was just saying to Mr. G, when I first started watching you, it was like watching Malcolm and Wise. I know, you told me that this afternoon. Right, let me just put Sarah's name in. S-A-R-A-H. Let me just check. Sarah, is it? Yeah, S-A-R-A-H, yes. That's right. Right, this way. I'm going to go. I think I went too close to the edge of my edge stitch. But it doesn't matter, I can go the other way. A next, and then the H will be last. Okay. Cut that. Right, let me sort my dot out because it's loose. So Sarah's name is there, but I've just gone the opposite way over there. Should have done it in a darker stitch. I think you'd be able to see it a little bit clearer. So what I'm going to have to do with Sarah's, because it's starting there, is I'll take a little bit of white cotton, tiny amount. I'll leave the thread on. There's a reason for it. Tiny little needle as well, not a big one. And I'm just going to go and start on the S. Oh. I want Lynn to be able to see this. And the white will make it pop. I should use darker thread really. Oh, see, there's the S. I'm just about to see it. Should have done darker thread. I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to tie it. I'm going to leave the cotton on the needle because I'm just going to... No, not. Sew that down. Yeah, that'll do. Right, I should have used darker thread. So Sarah's is just there, S-A-R-A-H, and I should have done darker thread, but I didn't. Live and learn. Oh, I don't want to change it because everybody else is in pink, but I just highlighted the S so she can see your name, sweetheart. Because it'd be a shame not to see your name. Right, I'm going to go this way and because I've done... So Sarah, you are next to Miss Paisy. So tuck that in there. Press this flower back. Press Angie's flower back. And I'm going to sew just there. So I'm going to, with this one, I'm going to sew down there, up there and across. I'm going to leave the top open. Yeah, she is bossy one though. I'm not bossy, Miss Paisy. How dare you call me bossy? I'm never bossy, ever. Oh, wait. Deciding to write Sarah's name again. Wait a minute. I didn't cancel it. Right. Let me try again. I'm going the other way. And then back up this way. Okay, so we have Sarah's flower there, and you can see Sarah's name. Just kicking myself, I've used pink to do the wording. I should have used darker, but never mind. I'm not going to mention it again. I'm just getting slightly annoyed with myself that I've used pink thread. Never mind. So we have done, I'm going to move everything out the way. I've now got 2 tags to start me off on the sides. Like I say, this isn't going to be done. I knew this wasn't going to be done all tonight because I want to do it special. So this is the front. This is the back. The back obviously won't have any flowers on, so the back's easy enough to be done. So there's my front and my back. And then the side, which I haven't done any doodads for it at the moment. What am I called? Badding, wadding. I haven't put any in between at the moment, but I will. But what I might do is I might do one off camera and one on camera because they're both going to look the same. And I'm going to use the honeycomb stitch to match the back. So we've done we've cut out all the pieces ready. And like I say, next week, like I say, Angie will be back with me. She just wants me to do the prizes because everybody joined in on the challenge. She wants me to do the prizes. She's been a really good friend actually, because she could have said I want to do live, but she didn't. She's left me do the prizes by myself, which is really kind of her, and it's really understanding because I'd never thought, I didn't even think twice, but she said, no, Claire, you do the prizes and then I'll come on once you've finished. So Angie, that is such a thoughtful thing to do, and I'm still trying to. I sat here the other day and I thought, how kind is that for somebody to sort of think of like that? So thank you, Angie, for thinking like that. Like you say, I'm going to do 5 flowers on one side and 5 on the other, and then everybody's flowers would have gone on. But at the moment, we have Angie's flowers, Rian's flower, Sarah's flower, and Carla's flower. And she will see the writing, because if she does look that little bit closer, she'll see the lettering and she can pop it all together then. But yeah, how amazing is this going to turn out? I mean, it's going to be like the journal. It's going to be, she's going to be able to use the basket, but she'll also be able to look at it and then look at the flowers. And to tell you the truth, I think I might make one for myself, because you ladies often send me flowers all the time. I absolutely adore the flowers you've sent me. And at the moment, I've been putting them on jars or things like that. These are what I've been putting them on. Let me just quickly show you what I've been doing for you to see. These were flowers that Carol sent me in the swap. So there's one, and I put some ribbon on the lid. There is 2, and it's just, again, put some ribbon on the lid. And I've got a couple more to do. That one Angie did me, and I have gone round some of them with the jars, which I'm going to be doing anyway. So there's them, and I'm racking my brains. Once they're on the jars, I forget who sent me. I'm racking my brains as to who sent me these. And I feel awful saying that, because they're on the jars now, I don't know who sent me them. So if it is you that sent me these flowers, please let me know so I know. But at the moment, these are the flowers that I've been doing. I did tell you I'd show you something else, which is, bear with me and I'll show you. No, it's not in there. It's in there. Where's it gone? This is for the 6-way swap. Six-way swap. Red Robin it's called. I will be doing a video shortly to explain what. But this is the 6-way swap. There's 6 ladies that are doing this swap, and we all make pages for each other. And at the end of, when everybody's made all the pages, we'll have a journal that everybody's made a part of it. So this is what I've made so far. So I'm making for the lovely Josephine, and she'd asked for shabby chic, and I was like, oh right, okay, shabby chic, yeah. I really struggled with it. I don't know why I struggled with it. I think it's because everything I was looking at on YouTube, Pinterest, was all vintage. Because I do vintage, it just seemed, I just couldn't rack my brains to go from vintage to shabby chic. So the pages originally I didn't do. Mary did them, and she sent them, and they were all coffee stained. So they were all like this basically. And this is the amount of pages that you do for someone. So you actually do 4 pages, and then whatever you want to put on the 4 pages, so i.e. tags, ephemera, that kind of thing. So I was like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? Now, Angie's the shabby chic person between us both, and I'm vintage, right? So I was like, if I was making for Angie, and that's the only thing I had in my mind, if I was making for Angie, what colours would I use? Pink. Right. How would I make it? And I was still struggled with it. I don't know why I struggled with it. I just did. So I scoured on Pinterest and YouTube and everything, and I was looking at, I was like, oh, there's a nice video. Yeah, but isn't that vintage, not shabby chic? So I had the tip of the lovely Miss Dee Dee, and she said to use, I've just seen it a second ago. She said to use lace, right? Never done this before. So you use lace and you spray it, and it leaves you with the lace marks. So you can see it just there, and you can see it there. So I think that one was that one. Yeah, that one was that one. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But wait a minute, once I've done that, where do I go? So I thought, because it looked really, really, really bright pink, it was brighter than this. It was super bright. So I toned it down with some gesso, and that left me like a baby pink. And then I went on to Artie Maze's channel after Rian had mentioned to me. Artie Maze is on YouTube, and she's got, I think it's like a blog or a website, something along them lines. And she has got free printable things that you can print off continuously. And she's also got kits. Now, I bought the Shabby Chic kit, and this was some of what was in the kit. I haven't actually printed it all out yet. So this was some of the Shabby Chic kit that I downloaded and bought off, and it's not that expensive. I mean, there was papers, envelopes, tags, you name it. It was enough to make a journal. I loved these little tickets and the banners and the spools. And that is an envelope that you would just cut up and use. So there's lots of different things. So that is Artie Maze. She's on YouTube, and then if you find her on YouTube, you'll find the blog or website. It's either one or two. Like I say, she's got free printables on there, and she's got buy kits. And I heard from about it through Rian, because Rian said, "Have you tried Artie Maze?" So anyway, I went on and I printed the kit off, and then I thought, right, I've printed the kit off, beautiful images. Where do I go from there? And I'm still stuck. I'm like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? So I used my pink thread that I've been using tonight. And I thought, what if I ruffle the fabric up? So I used this fabric. I used this, sugar. Use this fabric because I thought, oh, that's kind of shabby chic. And I used some of the lace that I sprayed and just cut it, and then I ruffled it up and just sewed it on my machine and left the threads, the pink threads there. The bottom is all ruffled. I'll go into the bottom in a second. And then I thought, right, I had this beautiful image, but I wanted to make something of it. So I've sewn down the side and sewn up the top, and up the top behind it I've also put some music paper that I had in my own stash, and I edged it with walnut stain. I didn't go vintage photo because I thought vintage photo is going to turn it vintage, not shabby chic. So anyway, I did that, and then I wanted to put something in there. I'm still sort of adding to this. This isn't completed. I'm enjoying it now. I sort of know where to go with it. But if you've got any more ideas of how to make the shabby chic, or what to add in there, please help me out, because I am really struggling with it. I don't know why I'm struggling with it. I think it's because I don't know why I'm struggling with it. Because it's, give me vintage any day of the week. I can do vintage, I can do Alice in Wonderland, I can do whatever it is I can do. But shabby chic I thought I'd be okay with, but I really struggled. So anyway, I got some sort of an idea where I'm going. But if you've got any inspiration on how to make things pink and baby pink and how to make it more shabby chic, please put it in the comment section and help me out, please. So in the top pocket here, I've put like a little, this is not a tag. This is like a little notebook. So I cut the images out. Now this back image was on one of the pieces of paper that I showed you. It was, let's see, it was on one of these images. Actually, those two images came from this 4 image that I received off Artie Mays. Good night, Debbie, sweetheart. So I cut the 2 images out. I've put some little bit of fabric there. I've put some vintage lace. Vintage lace had to go on there somewhere. Some muslin there. And some more fibres and fabric there. I stitched all the way along the edge. I haven't stitched on the back. I've left the back completely plain. Like I said, I margined to this, so this isn't completed. And then when you open it up, I've made a notebook, so to speak. So this, again, I've just stitched around the edge. And I've warm stained the edge, so Josephine can write inside if she so wishes, but I'm still adding to that. So there's a little notebook there. So that is going to go in there. So that's that. Then the bottom, again, ruffled some edges up. I've used some of that sari silk pack that I bought ages ago. It had like browns, pinks, greens, that kind of thing in. And I've cut a little section off there. I've used some muslin and I ruffled it all up. This piece then, this is like a little secret part of the page. This piece then, again, was on Artie Mays, but I've sewn it to, what did I sew it on? Let me show you that. I sewed it on one of these. Now, I tea stained one of these. This was out of a notebook. I cut the bottom off. This is all tea stained. All the pages are like this. They're all crumpled and tea stained. And I thought because it's light, I could get away with using shabby chic. So I did that and I put the image on top. This piece then, I'll tell you more about this piece in a second. This piece is a little secret pocket. So I've done the little butterfly, which has come from Artie Mays. I've left one side of it open because she closes the little secret notebook there for me. This was a front of an envelope, so I took the front of the envelope. Hi, Jane, sweetheart. I sewed all the way along the edges with pink thread, and I got my sari pink ribbon, pink fibres out. So that, and then when you open it up, I've sewed all the way around. I've cut one of those bus tickets out and I've sewed that, and I've got some little small fibres and I've started sewing there. So that's that. This is the secret bit. So when you, so that opens and then this opens. So this opens. Again, I've gessoed all this and I went a bit rough with it because I thought I want that not old look, but I want the shabbiness of it. So vintage bus ticket again, some more fibres on the side. Glued this down to the page. I have to think about what I had done. And then I ripped, this was joined together, but I ripped it in a diagonal because I wanted to sort of add it either or. So I put one side there, there's a pocket tuck spot there. And then there's also a tuck spot there. So she could, like I say, I'm still adding to it, so I am gonna put some ephemera pieces in there so she knows that's a tuck spot. So that is as far as I have got, and then obviously this comes out like so. That's as far as I've got. I was very close to starting all over again with a piece of paper, and I thought, no, go with it, see what it turns out as. If you don't like it once it's turned up, then start again. But yes, that's as far as I've got, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But to first of all, I just really couldn't think what shabby chic was. So yeah, what you all think about that? I mean, yeah, I'm going to put some ephemera pieces inside that and really build it up so that Josephine knows where to go for the thing. And I love it. It's got all fibres. If you know me at all, you know I love texture. And somewhere along these pages, I am going to be putting buttons of course, they've got to find their way on. They've got to find their way on. So I am going to be putting buttons somewhere along. So yes, that's my page so far. The rest I will show you on a video what the rest looks like. But that's a little snippet of what is looking like so far. And I'm doing it, it's a 6-way swap, and Mary Barrett, she is running it all. She asked me about a month and a half ago whether I'd be interested in it, and I said, oh yes, of course. So yeah, so you'll know what I've done to those 3 pages in my video. If you ask me, I'm no expert. Shabby chic seems to have less details and very loose. I'm not really good at it, but I noticed it by watching Siobhan. All right, okay. I'll have to have a look. I did look it up, and when I was looking shabby chic up, I did notice everybody was using fibres on their pages. So I'll have a look, Carla. Thank you for that, sweetheart. I do appreciate it. So yeah, that is my project. Well, my little project share. What I'm doing with my flowers at the moment, putting them on jars. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's live. Move that. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's live. The basket is going to turn out stunning. Yeah, I'm the same, Rian. I'm the exact same. Whenever I'm doing shabby chic, it always turns out vintage. But I'm really, really, really trying hard with how to get this sort of right, and really trying to get it more vintage looking. No, more vintage, more where am I going? More vintage, more shabby chic looking. That's where I'm going. I don't know if you got shabby chic there, but it's very pretty. Oh, thank you, Carla. Well, whatever. I think shabby chic and vintage this is what I'm liking about Sam's collab at the minute. It's different interpretations. But yeah, I'll definitely look up whether I need to use less detail or more. But I'll have a look. Well, thank you all for being amazing. And thank you all for your comments and being with me tonight. I will catch up with you all next Friday, where I'll be joining more of the flowers and doing more of making the basket up more or less next week, because we'll have more of the flowers to add. So I will catch up with you all on Friday. Have a lovely rest of the week wherever you are in the world. Good night. God bless. I'm just going to read the rest of the comments out before I go. Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Good night. God bless. And I will catch up with you then. Bye for now, ladies. Bye.